East Asia Forum, 26 February 2024, Central Asia is embroiled in a geopolitical conflict. Following its invasion of Ukraine, Russia has employed a blend of threats and inducements to sway Central Asian nations in its favor. Russia and China have aligned in their strong opposition to Western development cooperation programs, which Russia and China both consider to be covert endeavors to influence Central Asia in favor of Ukraine and for their gain. With varying degrees of urgency, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan are reorienting their multi-vector foreign policies in an effort to strike a balance, distance themselves from Russia's aggression, and evade the Kremlin's ire. In the interim, Afghanistan, a nation that is frequently disregarded, is positioned to assert its influence in the region on account of the Islamic State of Khorasan province's increased assertiveness, an impending water assessment crisis, and massive migration. Anxious Central Asian nations have witnessed the Taliban's efforts to consolidate its power and Iran's proxy conflict with Israel, which have exposed the escalation of tensions between the West and Central Asia. The alleged ISKP explosion that occurred in Kerman, Iran, and resulted in more than 80 fatalities poignantly illustrates these underlying tensions. The convergence of climate change and the ongoing food crisis has exacerbated the issue of water insecurity, thereby propagating its repercussions beyond Afghanistan to adjacent nations. Water-related tensions escalated along the Iran-Pakistan border in May 2023, resulting in gunfire between Iranian border officers and Taliban forces. Escalating tensions are fundamentally attributable to the Taliban's construction of the Kajaki and Kamal Khan dams on the Helmand River. The Taliban's construction of the Kashtepa Canal to leverage the Amu Darya River will severely restrict the water resources of Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. As Tehran and Uzbek seek common ground, Central Asian nations will likely maintain a more tolerant stance toward Afghanistan in 2024 than their Iranian counterparts. Additionally, the recent water and energy supply disruptions may spur updates on long-awaited infrastructure projects and enhanced resource management. Central Asia is presently confronted with a complex array of challenges. It yearns for a connection with the West but is also cautious about falling prey to more influential regional actors. The Ukrainian conflict is a poignant illustration, magnifying this perpetual and intricate phenomenon. Since the imposition of sanctions against Russia, the region has become a route for Russia to circumvent Western restrictions. The influx of Russian capital and businesses into the area has increased. In contrast, the migration of Central Asian blue-collar laborers to Russia has increased substantially over the past year, accompanied by a substantial surge in remittances returned to the region. The escalation of tensions with Western nations has compelled the United States and European governments to advocate for stricter measures against sanction-evading operations in the area. The robust growth of Central Asian economies in the first half of 2023 was bolstered, however, by a resumption of international trade and tourism, high levels of migration, and remittances from Russia, according to a report by the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. The region is expected to maintain a robust GDP growth rate of 5.9% in 2024. Government spending, the reopening of China, intermediary trade with Russia and Russian remittances, tourism, and business relocation are anticipated to sustain the current growth surge. In contrast to Russia's strategy, despite being a dominant economic force in the region, China intends to adopt a more subdued approach than it did previously during the Belt and Road Initiative's 2013 launch. Beijing recognizes the difficulties that can arise from unwelcome scrutiny and increased visibility. As Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov increases his vocal expression, Chinese diplomats are reducing the assertiveness of their wolf warrior rhetoric. At the China-Kyrgyzstan-Uzbekistan Railway, tangible progress appears to have been made since the inaugural China-Central Asia Summit in Shen in May 2023. During this summit, Chinese President Xi Jinping and 5 Central Asian leaders convened in Shen. Line D of the Central Asia-China gas pipeline, which is being developed to transport additional Turkmen gas from Tajikistan to China, is also progressing. Middle Eastern interest in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization is increasing, contributing to its growth. Following Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Egypt, Bahrain, Kuwait, and the United Arab Emirates, Iran was admitted as a full member in 2023. The potential for the Gulf to provide investments, specifically in renewable energy initiatives, elevates anticipations regarding a strengthened economic prognosis in the area. Growing apprehension regarding forming a more unified alliance between Beijing and Moscow looms over the agency in Central Asia. The region took note of the joint statement issued in March 2023 after President Xi's visit to Moscow. This statement explicitly affirms a limitless friendship and collaboration in Central Asia. It represents a significant concern within the region, the unlikely situation in which its 2 principal allies collaborate beyond its sphere of influence. An alignment of this nature would inevitably disrupt their ability to maneuver between these preeminent powers, further complicating their strategic positioning. The present dilemma is not unprecedented in landlocked Central Asia. The dynamic global security environment reinforces Beijing and Moscow's convergence. Nevertheless, the importance of the West, Turkey, Iran, and, more recently, the Gulf should not be undervalued in the area.